I want to welcome you back to the D'Lo Show. I am your host, Ryan D'Lo Delosier. Yeah, I was scrolling through Facebook just the other night, and there was a headline that came up on there that was from the Yakima Herald, and I stopped right there, and I saw it. It said, the title of it was, Union Gap Man, 74, found guilty of attempted child rape in Operation Net Nanny trial. And I look at this, and I saw the old man there in his picture, and then I looked a little further, and there was a picture of the guy on there. His name's Fred Thomson. I'm like, I know a guy named Fred Thomson. Used to work with him at Payless Drugstore in Union Gap. Oh my goodness, I knew that name. I had worked with this guy decades ago. Yeah, I was a junior in high school working at Payless Drugstore, like I mentioned earlier. It's in the Valley Mall. It's still there today. Payless is not. It's actually the Macy's. Is that what they call it now? Yeah, it's on that end right there. So, but that before they tore it, like when used to be, there used to be a Rite Aid. It's not a CVS in the parking lot. So prior to CVS, it was Rite Aid. Prior to Rite Aid, it was Thrifty Payless, and it was in the spot where Macy's is at. Okay, they moved it out to the parking lot. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It was there. I worked there. I was in high school. Fred was in his 40s. He's just a guy I work with. I definitely remember him. He was kind of weird, and maybe we'll see why now as we go through this. So now he's 74, and a jury just found him guilty of something unthinkable. So I clicked on the article, and I saw a quote from the trial, and this is a quote from the prosecutor. It said, all he had to do was stop texting. All he had to say is, hey, whoa, 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 that's not me. I'm interested in mom, not kids. But he didn't stop, okay? That click sent me down a rabbit hole into a massive sting operation that caught 15 men right here in the Yakima Valley, right in this area. It actually kind of goes from Sunnyside all the way to Nampa, Idaho, and that area too. There's some people that got caught up in this sting, but it originated here, kind of in Union Gap, kind of being the hub of it. That is where the Washington State Patrol does have a branch right there. So when you hear the word internet sting, I guess it's words, you probably, you may think of this was a favorite show. This was like, I don't know what night of the week it was on, but if it was on, we were watching it. I don't know why, but it was just great to watch predators get caught in something. So this show called To Catch a Predator, and I used to eat it up. Like we'd sit down, almost getting popcorn, sit down on the couch. We didn't literally get popcorn, but maybe we did. We'd have snacks. We would, and this was before the days of Netflix and everything too. Like you had to be there to watch it. So we'd watch this guy. The host name was Chris Hansen. And he would step out and say, when the person would walk into the house, and he'd say, hey, why don't you have a seat over there? And he'd kind of point to a stool, and the cameras and microphones swarmed right in. It was high drama, but it was also very controversial. Wikipedia notes that the show faced some mixed reactions for its sordid tone and ethical concerns regarding entrapment. Critics argued that these stings were designed for TV ratings, not necessarily for solid legal justice. So how is Operation Net Nanny any different? Well, Net Nanny isn't for network TV. Okay, it was for the Washington State Patrol. It was an operation that was put in place by the WSP. Instead of news crews, Fred Thomson, when he arrived at this house, when he went there to go meet the 13 and 11-year-old girls that he was supposedly going to meet, he wasn't met by a film crew that swarmed into the kitchen. He was met by the Yakima Police Department SWAT team. Okay, and unlike the TV shows where the cases were often thrown out for entrapment, these investigators used specific trafficking and mentorship language that left little room for defense. It wasn't about the spectacle, it was about the statute. And Fred wasn't alone when this happened. 15 men were caught in this net. And in this show, we use pedophile first identification for those who are convicted. So because once that jury returns a verdict, the person's actions define their label. So let's take pedophile Fred Thomson. He argued the lonely man defense, that he was just an old man looking for a date with a mother. Oh, how nice. Yeah. The jury didn't buy it, though. He's currently awaiting the sentencing after being convicted. Just, I believe it was February 9th, just yesterday. Then there's another pedophile named Lucas Noe Martinez. He was age 40, and he claimed that he was just there to rescue the kids. Oh, I remember this. When I'd watch To Catch a Predator, you'd go in, and that was always what they were trying to do. They were just going to teach those kids a lesson there when they came with condoms in their pocket. He was also found guilty. This guy, pedophile Lucas Noe Martinez, was found guilty just last month. The sentences, they vary wildly. We have a pedophile by the name of David Curry. He's doing 13 years in federal prison. But then you have another pedophile, Brent Adkins, and he entered this what's called an in rebar plea. I'm going to have to look that up. I don't know this one very well. I haven't heard of this one before, but it's kind of like the Alfred plea, which we had in the Landon Lewis case, which I talked about in one of my previous podcasts, where the guy who shot Landon Lewis, he took an Alfred plea where he could claim innocence while still knowing, or he could keep his innocence, but then, while admitting that he was going to be convicted. This is the same thing, I have a feeling. It can't be the same. It's got a different name, but he's maintaining his innocence while admitting that he'd likely lose in trial. And he walked away. So this pedophile Brent Atkins, only had 2 days in jail. And then there's Richie Robertson, who got 3 months. And I have a whole list of them right here that I'm just going to run through real quick, some of the other ones, just to see where their cases are at. So Fred Thomson, 74, he was found guilty on February 6th of 2026 of attempted first and second degree child rape. He's currently awaiting sentencing. Then there's pedophile Lucas Noe Martinez, like I had mentioned earlier. He's 40. He was from White Swan. He's found guilty on January 20th of 2026, not too long ago, of attempted first and second degree child rape, and he's currently awaiting his sentencing as well. Then there is pedophile David Elmo Curry, like I had mentioned earlier. He was 40, from Clarkston. He was convicted in U.S. District Court on December of 2023 on 2 counts of attempted enticement of a minor. He was sentenced to 13 years in federal prison. Pedophile Hayden Aaron Erlinson. I'm going to have to come back to this one. I have some I have some documents on this. I was able to get the text thread that was used in a probable cause affidavit for this guy. Can't wait to share that one with you. Anyways, he was convicted in October of 2023 of attempted second degree child rape and communicating with a minor for immoral purposes. He was sentenced to 6 years to life. And then there's pedophile Venemian Nikolai Gaidaichuk, I think is how we're going to say that. 34, he was from Lake Stevens. He was convicted in September of 2023 of attempted second-degree child rape and communicating with a minor for immoral purposes. He was sentenced to 7 years to life. There's other plea agreements that went along with this. 8 out of 15 right here. So pedophile Christian Hernandez, he was 30 years old, from Yakima, pleaded guilty to attempted second-degree child molestation. He was sentenced in June of 2024 to 17 months. Then there's pedophile Brent Mitchell Adkins. Once again, he entered a in rebar plea to communicating with a minor for immoral purposes. Mentioned that already. He was sentenced to 2 days in jail. Wow. This plea allowed him to maintain innocence while acknowledging prosecutors had enough evidence for greater charges. Then there was pedophile Jesse Juan Ramirez. He's 35, from Yakima. He pleaded guilty to attempted second-degree child molestation and communicating with a minor. Sentenced to 3 years in September of 2023. Pedophile Kidrick Bradley Yallop Littlebowl. He's 27, from Wapato. He pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit first-degree child molestation, sentenced in June of 2023 to 40 months. Then there's pedophile Richie T. Hunter T. Robertson. He was 27 years old, pleaded guilty to communicating with a minor, sentenced to 3 months in jail. And then pedophile Benjamin James Cool, he's 30, from Nampa, Idaho. He pleaded guilty to attempted second-degree child molestation and sexual exploitation, sentenced in June of 2022 to 5 years. And there's pedophile Bradley Vincent Shawner, we're going to go with that being his name. He's 35, from Ellensburg, and he entered an Alfred plea. We heard that earlier. Alfred plea to first-degree conspiracy to rape a child. Sentenced in 2022 to 6 years. There's pedophile John Bradley Raymond, 65 years old, from Yakima. He pleaded guilty to attempted second-degree child rape, and he was sentenced to 6 years. And then there's 2 that are either pending or outstanding. We have Leonardo Sanchez Britton. He's 24, from Union Gap, awaiting trial on charges of attempted second-degree child rape and communicating with a minor. And then there's Rakinder Singh Randaha. and he's 32 from Sunnyside. Currently, there is a bench warrant issued for this individual for failure to appear. Wow, I wonder what he's running from. Charged with attempted child rape, commercial sex abuse, and sexual exploitation. So, yeah, quite the gamut of individuals right there as to where they are and how they're going along with things. So, like I'd mentioned, they definitely vary quite a bit. And so, yeah, that's here. Like those cases were related to the Net Nanny one, the Operation Net Nanny from the Washington State Patrol. Here's another case though that happened in Union Gap. Again, this is kind of where my first case came from. Union Gap just has a tie as well to it. It used to be, and take it down a side road right here. It used to be Yakima, like the city was Yakima, and then the train 100 and how many ever years ago in 1880, I believe it was 1885 when Yakima moved from where Union Gap is at right now, current day Union Gap, to they called it North Yakima. They moved with the train. So now, yeah, Yakima used to be Union Gap. Anyway, so it's kind of the same city. So when you talk about them, they are very close to each other. It's close enough to move so that they could meet the train line of the train system that was going to be built going through town. Yeah, history of Yakima. There you go. So, anyways. Another Union Gap tie. Here's another case right here. This one kind of fires me up a little bit. So another guy right here who was also caught. So while we see these guys, the Net Nanny guys, okay, the pedophiles that are caught up in the Operation Net Nanny sting, they're facing decades for attempted crimes. You saw the gamut, like 2 days all the way up to 6, 7, 8 years long, like and to life. They're basically like 6 years to life, depending on how that works right there. So when we look at this, the Net Nanny guys, like Hayden Erlinson, he's got 6 years to life. Okay. Then we have another case right here. Guy's name's Gary Clark. Okay. Gary Clark was the former mayor of Zillah. Yeah. And he got caught up in something as well. He wasn't caught in a digital sting though. His victims were 2 real girls. Yeah, these were actual people. These weren't cops posing as 13-year-olds or as 11-year-olds, or as in Gary Clark's case, I believe it was a 4-year-old, and until she was 8 years old. So yeah, this sick individual. Okay, we're gonna call him pedophile Gary Clark. He admitted to it. Okay, he admitted to this. His victims, they were 2 real girls, one as young as 4. Like I said, he admitted to it. But because of his age and his lack of record, and he was mayor for 20 years, I mean, wow, what an upstanding citizen. He was granted what's known as an SSOSA, a special sex offender sentencing alternative. Wow, special. So Gary Clark, former mayor of Zillah, now pedophile, he got 6 months. A slap on the wrist for real-world trauma. While the sting defendants, they face the full weight of the law. You don't think Fred Thomson's going to get 6 months? He would probably love to only have to do 6 months. Okay, what makes you wonder if justice is truly blind? Like that, it makes me wonder. Is it truly blind? Or are they looking at Gary Clark and former Mayor Gary Clark? Anyways, yeah. If it just has a better view for some people than others, like is it blind? I don't know, or just get a better view if you're, Gary Clark. So Fred Thomson, again, going back to him, Fred Thomson is similar in a way to Gary Clark. When I was looking up his name, and I go into the Yakima Valley Library, if you have a Yakima Valley Library card, you can get a ton of stuff. I'm starting to find some things out. I don't want to share my trade secrets, but you can go in. They have access to newspapers across the United States. So I don't have a Yakima Herald Republic subscription, but they do have, they have access to it in there. And Fred Thomson, when I typed his name in there, and then I typed and I saw, I'm like, holy cow, this guy writes letters to the editor. So I went in and searched Fred Thomson, Union Gap, letters to the editor. And there was, I believe, 99 entries. And that's since 2001. Okay. So the guy writes stuff to the editor. Okay, he's got opinions. And this is also our guys. I said Fred Thomson. This is pedophile Fred Thomson because now he's been convicted. So he wanted public oversight and he wanted trust in our lawmakers. Well, hopefully he trusts our lawmakers now as they follow through on these laws. He even had ambitions, like Fred Thomson wanted to serve on the Union Gap City Council. He'd gone to meetings. He would listen to them. It's a chilling reminder, though, that the people who demand the most transparency out of public, that want to make sure the public is doing everything, are often hiding something in the most private areas of their life. So just remember that. When they're looking to see what you're hiding, what are they hiding? So take a look at these things. Hey, I am going to come back to this one. I guarantee you're going to be seeing some more, I mean, at least on that Hayden, I got to go back to his name. He has a unique last name. I got to find it here on my script, but Hayden, it was interesting because I have the text. In the probable cause affidavit, was able to find it for Hayden. And Hayden was to meet this girl, this Washington State Patrol officer posing as a girl. It's Halen Erlinson. And it was actually like he had to take selfies at a Wendy's. I'll go over it. We'll save that for another day, but I will come back to that one. So, hey, if you want to hear this stuff again, if you want to hear more of this stuff, if you like it, I know it's been murders and, like the Idaho 4, the cold cases around Yakima, this stuff, this is Yakima. I mean, this happens all around. Operation Net Nanny is kind of a big deal. I am so glad it happens. We need to protect these kids. There's so much going on with them. The kids have so many things we need to protect. Like those of us who have the ability need to make sure that we're checking on them. If you've got kids at home that have phones, man, go and check these things. These weirdos are out there. And I'm grateful for Washington's State Patrol who can go out and take care of these guys. As a dad of daughters, I want these guys, these people that are pedophile first in name, I want them to be off in their own little place, which is known as jail, for longer than, say, a guy like Gary Clark who's in there for 6 months. He does have to register, but anyways. So, I'm gonna cover some more of this stuff. We're gonna look at these guys in here and kind of see what their cases were and how they went about. I think they're all pretty similar, but some of them got some unique traits, and it was just able to kind of interesting to see how far these guys will go. And then when they get there, they say, "Oh, I was really into the mom," or, "Oh, I was just going to help the girl." Anyway, yeah, I was just going to save her from guys that might be like me, from the bad ones, but not like me because I'm not that bad guy. Yeah. So those type of people. Well, if you like it, I'm going to come back to some of that stuff. I hope you're enjoying these. Remember to like, subscribe, tell your friends. And, I am going to come back to this one because I eat this stuff up. So, in the meantime, stay safe out there. Glad you're listening to D-Lo Show. Have a great, awesome day.